يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفثه. قال الله عز وجل في سورة النور وأنكحوا الأيام منكم والصالحين من عبادكم وإمائكم إن يكونوا فقراء يغنهم الله من فضله والله واسع عليم. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من استطاع منكم الباءة فليتزوج فإنه أغض للبصر وأحسن للفرج ومن لم يستطع فعليه بالصوم فإنه له وجاء رواه البخاري. Dear brothers and sisters, in the first place, all praise be to Allah Azza wa Jal that Alhamdulillah we were able to successfully complete the month of Ramadan. And may Allah Azza wa Jal bestow upon us Ramadans after Ramadans like this, so that we can continue to seek forgiveness from Allah Azza wa Jal and we could continue to reap rewards of such months. Ameen. Peace, mercy and blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal be on Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Today, the ayah that I recited has got something really significant to do in our lives. And I'm going to talk about a very important, a very big, a very different, a universally different concept, so to say. And at the end of this khutbah, some of you may have some questions around this khutbah or around the points that we discussed in this khutbah. And some of you may actually completely agree with what I'm going to talk about in this khutbah. So may Allah Azza wa Jal grant us help, grant us tawfiq, that we understand Islam in the right perspective and take Islam as Islam is supposed to be absorbed. Ameen. Now, before I talk about the translation of the ayah that I recited, let's talk about some of the fundamental concepts, some of the fundamental things as far as a human body is concerned. When a person is completely tired, you and I know that he would like to relax. And if he's disallowed that relaxation time, if you tell him no, you can't relax, you still have a little bit of time left, or you still have a little bit of task to complete, only then can you go relax. While the body is absolutely taxing on him and he wants to have that rest because the body is telling him to go to bed, maybe take a little bit of rest, you say no, you can't. He might be able to sustain that a little bit longer, and you ask him to work a little bit extra, a few hours extra, he might do that. And then if you tell him that, one of the team members is absconding, therefore I would like you to please chip in for another 8 hours. He might as well be able to do that. He's already worked for about 8 hours and he's done 1 hour extra. And you once again tell him that because another team member is missing, can you continue because the project is in a critical condition of finishing its deadline. So you give those 8 hours extra. So the boss, the manager tells you to do that. You might be able to do that. What if this manager tells you once again to give that another 8 hours? Can you take that toll? The body can't. While you may be very willing to go ahead to work that extra because you also understand the importance of the project, but your body takes its toll on itself. Suppose you have not had sleep in the last couple of nights at all, no sleep at all. And now you are continuing to work after work after work. Can you continue to do that for about 6 days, 7 nights? 7 days, 8 nights? No, you can't. The body will automatically, science tells you this, that sleep automatically takes its toll on the body. Whether you like sleeping or not, whether you continue to do that work, automatically the eyes will close down. Automatically your body will go into that hibernation mode. Same is the case with the tummy, with our stomach. If you have stayed hungry throughout day, we have done that alhamdulillah successfully in the last 1 month. So if you have got to stay for that 9 to 10 or 12, 13 hours, absolutely hungry, we may be able to do that. And someone tells you, no, you can't have food even now. Go on fasting, not fasting for the month of Ramadan, just starve. For how long can we starve? 2 days, 3 days, depending on our stamina. We might be able to do that for about 8 days, 10 days. But then at the end of it, even if someone gets up and tells me that, look, I can starve for about 15 days. What about the 16th day? Would you not feel hungry? What is your condition? Can you just imagine for a moment what your condition would then be if you have starved for about 8 days or 15 days or even 20 days? And now someone tells you can't even have water. What's the condition of your body going to be? What's the state of your mind going to be? Exactly the same way. There is another thing that is called the most powerful, the most potent desire of a living organism, a living body. That it wants to have sex. Yes, brothers and sisters, it wants to have sex. The minute a person realizes that he is sexually potent, especially at the nascent stages, at the initial stages, he would like to explore that. Now if you tell him, hey, do not get married until you are about 25, until you are about 30, until you are about 35, or for that matter, until your sister gets married, don't get married. Imagine the kind of psyche this person is going to develop. Imagine the kind of mindset this person is going to have. Isn't that happening throughout our societies, not just in Bangalore, not just in India, across the globe? It's the same phenomenon. For whatever reasons, we have told these young boys and girls to not get married until a certain age because of whatever reasons, and as a result of that, these young boys and girls do not want to get married themselves. Some of them come back with the reason that, no, I'm only 16, I'm only 18. If I get married now, what about my friends? They are going to tease me, they are going to pull my leg, they are going to call me names. I'm not going to get married until I'm 25, until I'm 26, until I'm 30. And some people may come back and tell me, look, if I get married right now, I will have to do that without the consent of my parents. Because my parents tell me that I have this sister that I need to get married, get her married first. Only then can my turn come. If I have my sister married, only then will I be able to go ahead, look for an alliance for myself. Now imagine this for a moment, that in a society there are about, of course, in societies we have multiple thousands of people living, multiple thousands of families living across. Now imagine that you have in a street about 10 families living on each side of the street. 10 families on this side of the street and 10 other on this side of the street. And imagine that each one of these families has at least one daughter. So that means 20 daughters here. And also imagine that these families also has also have one son each. Now, if you go talk to one of the families here, saying, why can't your son get married? The person will reply to you saying that I'm looking for an alliance for my daughter first. Let my daughter get married, then I will have my son get married. Same way, if you go ask the other 9 families, they also have the same reply. If you come to the other side of the street and ask these 10 families, they also have the same reply. Now what is going to happen is, all these 20 families are waiting for an alliance from somewhere. These 20 families are waiting for a bridegroom from somewhere, whereas you have about 20 grooms as well in each of these families. If you count, you have 20 grooms. None of them is interested in marrying. How is the equation going to be resolved? You want to have your daughter get married. You do not want to have your son get married. Likewise, there is this person here that says that I want to have my daughter, marry first. And you have another family that says, I also want to have my daughter marry first. What about if there is no one coming forward from any of these 19 families to get married to this lady? What about the other people then? How is the equation going to be resolved? So that's the catastrophe we are in. All of us want to remain unmarried until we have had all our sisters married first. And are we going to have, like we say that particular line in Hindi, "Dulhe kya asmaan se tapkenge"? If none of these people is interested in getting married to any of these alliances, because they say, no, I can't get married because I have a sister waiting. Only then can I get married, after having got this sister married somewhere. So if every single family thinks on these lines, how is the equation going to be resolved? That's just one example that I gave you. There are many. Some people say, no, I want my son to be, an established businessman, or I want my son to have a permanent job, a government job, a job in an IT field. Only then can he get married. Now, what if this unfortunate man is not able to find the job of his desire for the entire life? Are you going to ask him to remain unmarried throughout? And what are the byproducts? What are the ill effects? If a person, the minute he is, the minute he has attained puberty, if you are telling him not to get married until about 10 years later, 15 years later, what is he going to do with that, with those highly productive 10-15 years of his life? Is he not going to fall into bad practices? That's what happens with us. Some of us pick up something called masturbation. Some of us go into bad companies. Some of us pick up those porn magazines. Some of us visit those porn websites. Some of us also have such bad company that they end up their lives in brothels. This is the catastrophe. And all of us still may say, no, I don't want to get married until my sister's gotten married. I don't want to get married because I'm not going to get an alliance until I have got a very good job, very promising job. Until then, I will not be allowed any marriage, or I will not be allowed any alliance. Did that happen in the days of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam? There was one person that wanted to get married in the days of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Do you even know what he had? He just had one shawl, one blanket. That's about it. And at the most, when Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam found out from him, he had one iron ring, not even a golden ring for that matter, not even a silver ring. He just had an iron ring. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam got him married to a lady of his desire. And what was the mahr? Quran. Learn, memorize whatever Quran you have learned to your wife. That was the mahr. And we have made these marriages look so very ugly these days, so very difficult these days. That's why Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran, وَأَنْكِحُ الْأَيَامَ مِنْكُمْ. Whoever amongst you, ayama, the word ayama, the singular of this word is ayyimun. Ayyimun goes for both the genders, both males as well as females. Ayyimun goes for both males as well as females. A male that does not have a partner. It could be a partner in the form that he had perhaps previously been married and now he is not married anymore. Also, this word applies to this gentleman. At the same time, this word applies to a gentleman who's never been married before. At the same time, this word also applies to a spinster, someone who's never been married, even if it is 40 years of her life that she's not been married. Right? At the same time, this word also applies to a lady who perhaps had been married previously and now she is no more married. So Allah Azza wa Jal is referring to all such categories of people with just one word, ayyimun. The plural is ayama. وَأَنْكِحُوا الْأَيَامَ مِنْكُمْ وَالصَّالِحِينَ مِنْ عِبَادِكُمْ وَإِمَائِكُمْ إِنْ يَكُونُوا فُقَرَاءَ يُغْنِهِمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. Most of us have this question, right? No, I don't have, a very good job. I can't sustain this way. I can't really have someone else come into my life as yet because I'm not settled myself. I'm still not. जैसे हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं, मैं खुद अपने पाँव पे नहीं खड़ा हूँ. Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying here, إِن يَكُونُوا فُقَرَاءَ, if any of those people are poor, يُغْنِهِمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ, Allah Azza wa Jal is going to make them rich with His special bounty. How much of a trust do we have in this particular ayah today? Allah Azza wa Jal, no, I don't think He is going to bestow His ni'mah upon me. He is going to bestow His favor upon me. These are the notions we have. And look at what Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu had to say in the translation and in the commentary of this particular ayah. Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَأَنْكِحُوا الْأَيَامَ, get these people married, whoever, like I have described what ayama actually means now, get these righteous people married. And even if they are poor, Allah Azza wa Jal is going to give them barakah, Allah Azza wa Jal is going to enrich them. And in the commentary of this particular ayah, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu says, you do your duty. Allah Azza wa Jal is asking you to fulfill the command of marrying. And Allah Azza wa Jal is going to do His duty, which means Allah Azza wa Jal is going to have you become rich. How much of belief do we have in this particular ayah and in the saying of Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu? On the other hand, Imam Ibn Kathir rahimahullah brings this wonderful hadith recorded in Nasa'i by Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, in which Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, ثَلَاثَةٌ حَقٌّ عَلَى اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ عَوْنُهُمْ. There are three kinds of people who Allah Azza wa Jal considers helping His own right. Allah Azza wa Jal considers about these three people that I have a right to help them, help these three people. Who are those three people? Al-Mukatab alladhi yuridu al-ada. The Mukatab that wants to free himself from slavery. The person that has perhaps been a slave all throughout, and now he was writing it that he is going to buy out his own freedom. That person Allah Azza wa Jal is going to help. No, by the way, here we don't really have that equation, so let's quickly move to the second part of this hadith, or the second person. وَالنَّاكِحُ الَّذِي يُرِيدُ الْعَفَافِ. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Allah Azza wa Jal considers upon Himself that it is His duty, Allah Azza wa Jal's own duty, to help this man. Who? وَالنَّاكِحُ الَّذِي يُرِيدُ الْعَفَافِ. Someone who wants to do nikah only to save himself from the atrocities of zina. Someone who wants to save himself, safeguard himself from all kinds of bad deeds in the form of sexual intercourses or sexual inclinations. How many of us are keen now to straight away look to get married because we think now, we believe now, we firmly believe now that Allah Azza wa Jal is now going to help me if I have this intention of getting married to someone because I would like to save myself from adultery, from fornication, and from all kinds of these diseases. No. Go and ask a youngster. He will say, look gentlemen, I understand what you're saying, but perhaps you do not know where I come from. You are a Maulvi. You have lived all your life in a madrasa. You don't really know how this world works. Therefore, I think you must understand that this world doesn't really work the way you think it should. The way you think Islam, should help people this way. No, that's not how it works. While I have these, some of these youngsters would be saying, while I am absolutely fine in terms of having sex whenever I want, why should I get married in the first place? That's the question most people have. So that's the point. A lot of people today, they have this new tradition or new trend, I must say. A lot of these people have developed this new trend. Shadi ka jhamela kahe ko? I'm able to survive even without marriage the way a person lives his married life. I can go out with anyone that I desire. I can sleep with anyone that I like. The next day she doesn't complain, I don't complain. We move on. And then I find another partner, she finds another. So life is game like this. Life is cool like this. So why get married? This is the notion we have these days. And look at what Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam says. وَالنَّاكِحُ الَّذِي يُرِيدُ الْعَفَافِ. Any person that wants to do his nikah only because he wants to be chaste. How many of us are actually interested in being virgin? Chaste is nothing but being virgin until you get married. And believe me, if a person falls into bad habits, for that matter, if a person picks up masturbation, if a person picks up bad company, if a person visits porn websites, if a person visits brothels, who's going to be responsible? Of course, that particular person. You cannot shed the responsibility away from him, accountability away from him. At the same time, we parents are going to be held accountable as far as I see. Because we are the obstacles in him getting married to a person that he wants to get married to. Or for that matter, in a person that he wants to get married to of our choice. So the minute we realize that there is this boy who has attained puberty and he needs to, like I said, you have a desire of eating something. Can you hold that desire back for a long time? No, you can't. You will say, no, I got to eat. I'm going to fight this man. I'm going to give him a punch and I'm going to eat. He can't stop me from eating. That's the kind of psyche this man also develops. It is another story that these children do not complain, do not tell parents that, Dad, I want to get married. Please get me married. It is completely a different story. That these young girls do not come and tell you. You know what? In some of the metropolitan cities, like in Bombay, like in Calcutta, or for that matter in Delhi, and of course abroad, there is this new culture, new trend developing. Dads tell their daughters to find an alliance themselves only after they have arranged money for their own marriage. As a dad, no, that's not my responsibility to help you get married. I'm not going to arrange funds for your marriage. You have to get out, fetch a job yourself, save from whatever earnings you have, make that jahez, dowry or whatever you want to call it, then get married. This is the curse. And it is a reality. I'm not talking about something, extraordinary. This is a reality in nearly every single streets of these metropolitan cities across the globe. What values are we giving our children? What do we think we are doing? Who is responsible for any kind of bad practices these people, these young boys and girls, if they fall into any of these? So there is this question. Like I said, I have something very, very universally different to talk about. Some of you may have goosebumps here at the moment. Really? Is that the case? Some of us. And some of us parents may also have. Come on, gentlemen, what are you talking about? Are you giving my children another, weapon to fight against me? They already are against me. They want me to do this for them. They want me to do that for them. Give them admission in medical college. Give them this, the bike, the cars, the house, the this. And now, are you giving them another weapon to fight against me? No. My job is only to ensure that the people everywhere I go know what Islam has to say about people getting married. And as a result of my talk, if some of the people make that effort, that they take that first step towards getting their children married, inshallah ta'ala, the rewards will be not just upon you, the rewards will be also for the people that would follow or toe the line, so to say. So some people are there in the society that may not really want to take this first step, bold step. They might say, no, I might be considered a taboo in the society. People may not really want to meet me. People may not come into my marriage, or my son's marriage, my daughter's marriage. Therefore, I think I must remain behind until someone else makes that move. And if every one of us decides to just wait and wait and wait, and no one is making that move, who is going to make that move? So some of us who have got that brave heart, or at least the burning faith, should stand up and have their children, have their daughters, sisters, brothers get married in the first place. Because it has beauties, it has advantages. Like I said, one of the disadvantages, or one of the most heinous disadvantages of not getting married is that premarital affairs. And if you have your child get married at a very early age, the minute you realize that he needs to be married, while of course there are some of those people who may want to actually wait, and they don't fall into those bad practices because they know they can control themselves. But that population, that number is very, very little. Only a very few people could do that. A big majority may not be able to do the job of Saum, because that's what the hadith says. By the way, I must tell you what the translation of this hadith is. Malam yastati', Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Man istata'a minkumul ba'ata falyatazawwaj. Unfortunately, the usual translation that we have of this hadith is that whoever amongst you is able to get married should get married. No. If you look up what this word al-ba'ah means, intercourse, which means if a person is potent, not impotent, if a person is potent and he knows that he can actually satisfy his wife if he is gotten married right now, that person should get married immediately, is what Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying. It is these beautiful words that we use, that if you are able to get married, then get married. The ability, able to get married. Who defines what able to get married is? For some people it is 10 crores. For some people it is 10 lakhs of bank balance. And for some people it is never. That's why Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam used this word al-ba'a. Man istata'a minkum al-ba'a. Whoever amongst you is able to do intercourse, sexual intercourse, should get married. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ. And whoever amongst you is not able to do that, which means perhaps whoever amongst you is not really as desirous in terms of getting married, then فَعَلَيْهِ بِالصَّوْمِ. Then that man should fast. We have a lot of difficulty already in fasting the 29 or 30 days of the month of Ramadan, the fastings of which is obligatory. Do you think we are going to fast those nafil siyam? No, at least not me. That's the common notion. I'm not talking about myself. I'm not speaking about anyone else. I'm just talking about the common notion that we have here. No, I don't really want to fast. I can control it even otherwise. That's the common notion. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us guidance. May Allah Azza wa Jal guide us to help ourselves, if we are those youngsters, to get married, to convince our parents that we need to get married now, so that we eliminate this social evil called premarital sex, or for that matter, extramarital sex. Ameen. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulihi Muhammadin wa alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. A couple of advantages of getting married at a very early age. One of the best advantages, since I don't have time to talk about, say, about 10-15 advantages, I may end up just talking about a couple of them. One of the easy advantages of getting married very early. Suppose a person gets married while he is only about 18, 19, or at the most 20. Now he reproduces. He has a baby now, about 2 years later. Why, if he is getting married, say, at 18, and he wants to have a baby while he is 20, 21, he wants to enjoy his life, right? Most of us do that. We want to first enjoy a couple of first years of our life without babies. So let him enjoy. There is no harm in that. And after that, when he now decides, plans to make a baby, When he has that baby, he's 20, 21. And by the time this baby is ready again for the marriage, this man is only about 40. Right? While you are only 40, your child is actually ready to take over your business. That's one of the biggest advantages. Which means you don't really have to continue to, pull the cart of your family until you're 60, 65. One of the best advantages. Which means you can retire from all kinds of businesses that you have, all kind of engagements you have, and devote yourself for Islamic activities. The best advantage. If you don't like it, another advantage. If these people are able to, if parents are able to have their children married at a very early age, while this person is not even an earning member, he is still going to perhaps his 11th or 12th, or for that matter, first year of his graduation. While he is still doing that, you have him get married. The daughter-in-law that's going to enter your house is going to consider you parents, as opposed to considering you dad-in-law, mom-in-law. As opposed to this theory, if a person decides to get married, or if the parents decide to get their children married while they are 25, 30, while they have already established themselves as businessmen or as employees, who would like to stay with that particular dad? The daughter that walks in, the bride that walks into the house would say, you are an infiltration into our privacy. You are invading our privacy, therefore we can't live with you. We are going to find another house, live there. We are going to keep coming back to you maybe once a month, once a week. So where is that high regard gone? Where is that high respect gone? That's another advantage that you have if you have your children get married at a very, very early age. While I can talk about a lot of advantages, because this topic doesn't really have any limit. People can go on and on and on talking about it for at least 3-4 hours. One last piece of advice. If you have your children get married, even if they are doing 11th, 12th, or for that matter 10th, it appears to be an absurd idea. Oh, come on, are you nuts? You're suggesting something like this. Let me now check. When your children grow old, I'm going to come back to you about 10 years later and check if you get your children married the way you have now instructed us to get married. Yep. That's the common notion again we have. So one of the best things that you could do is have that child get married first. Bidai can take place later. Yeah. Anyways, these children plan. Like I said, these couples of today actually plan for their children. They do not really want to have children in the first 3, 4, 5 years of their life. Married life, I'm saying. So all this becomes halal. If a person is not married, he's going out dating, he's going out to cafe coffee day, he's going out to McDonald's, he's going out to a hotel and doing all those dirty things. All those things will either stop, or he will take this very girl that you have got him married to, he will take her there to CCDs, to Facebooks, or to wherever he wants. He can, and all this becomes halal for him. And I have some people that have actually, when I gave them this advice, they came back and told me, Jazakallah brother for the advice that you gave me, for convincing me to get married at such a young age. They came back and told me what? As a result of your instructions, as a result of your advice, when I got married at such a young age, I'm not actually going, watching fashion channels. I'm not watching any women, skimpily dressed women going around in the malls. I don't even look at them. The minute I look at them, the minute that first, eye falls on them, I tell myself, no, I have got something even better at my house. I can actually go benefit from her. That will be a reward for me if I do that. And another reward if I don't look at that woman. So these are the advantages. May Allah Azza wa Jal help us eliminate this disease called premarital, extramarital affairs. May Allah Azza wa Jal help us get our children married at a very, very young age. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد عباد الله رحمني ورحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون